Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone, to another exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures that might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket change. And today we are going to explore one of the most unbelievable stories in modern numismatics, the 2012 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin. A tiny copper-plated zinc piece from the Denver Mint that has astonished collectors and experts alike for its mysterious errors, remarkable minting anomalies, and sheer rarity, making it a coin that some collectors have valued at a staggering $18 million. It might sound unbelievable that a single penny minted just over a decade ago could be worth that much, but once you understand the series of minting mistakes, planchet irregularities, die issues, and the striking details that separate this rare find from the ordinary 2012 D pennies, you'll realize why coin enthusiasts are calling it one of the most fascinating modern era coins ever discovered. The 2012 D penny, at first glance, looks like any other piece of loose change you might toss into a jar, featuring the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield reverse design introduced in 2010, symbolizing the unity of the United States. However, beneath that simple design hides a number of errors and imperfections that transformed what should have been an ordinary coin worth 1 cent into an extraordinary collectible that could buy a mansion. Collectors have discovered that certain examples of the 2012 D penny feature a rare double die obverse, where Lincoln's image, particularly around the eyes, mouth, and date, shows a faint but distinct doubling effect caused by a misalignment in the hubbing process when the coin's die was manufactured. This type of error, though rare, has always fascinated collectors because it proves that even in the highly automated and precise environment of the US Mint, mistakes can still happen. The doubling on the date 2012 and the D mint mark are among the key features that experts point to when verifying these rare pieces. Some examples even show doubling on the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust," giving the design an almost ghostly shadow that can be seen under magnification, adding to its mystery and desirability. But the doubling error is not the only feature that has made this coin so valuable. There have been reports of off-center strikes where the coin was not properly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design being cut off and an unstruck blank area appearing on one edge. These off-center errors can range from minor shifts to extreme misalignments that make the coin look as if it was struck halfway off the planchet, and the more dramatic the error, the higher the coin's value climbs. What makes some of the 2012 D pennies even more extraordinary is the combination of multiple errors on the same coin, such as a double die obverse paired with an off-center strike, or a broad strike where the collar failed to hold the coin in place, allowing the metal to expand outward beyond its normal circular border. Coins showing such complex layers of mistakes are incredibly rare and can command massive prices at auctions because they are unique, essentially one-of-a-kind accidents of the minting process that can never be exactly replicated. Another error found on certain 2012 D pennies involves a die crack or die break, where the metal die used to strike the coins developed a fracture after producing thousands of strikes, causing raised lines or blobs of extra metal to appear on the finished coins. Some of these cracks run through Lincoln's portrait, across the shield on the reverse, or along the rim, forming dramatic patterns that collectors refer to as cuds when part of the design is completely missing due to broken die pieces. These imperfections not only make the coin visually interesting but also provide physical evidence of the intense pressure and mechanical wear the dies undergo during mass production, giving collectors a glimpse into the hidden drama of the minting process. There are also a few examples where the copper plating on the 2012 D penny did not adhere properly to the zinc core, causing bubbles, blisters, or peeling on the surface of the coin. These planchet errors, though sometimes subtle, can increase the coin's appeal, especially when they occur in combination with other minting mistakes. Another remarkable factor contributing to the massive value of the 2012 D era penny is the possibility that a very small batch was struck using an experimental planchet composition or an outdated die, creating a hybrid coin that doesn't match standard mint specifications. Some experts speculate that a handful of 2012 D cents might have been struck with leftover or mismatched planchets, possibly those intended for foreign coinage or for testing purposes within the mint, which would explain their unusual weight, color, or metallic tone under magnification. Such composition anomalies are highly sought after because they represent a crossover between regular production and experimental minting, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery for any numismatist. The Denver Mint is known for its precision, but even the most advanced facilities occasionally produce unexpected results, and when a coin like this escapes quality control, it becomes a treasure that tells a story of human error and machine imperfection colliding in a way that fascinates the entire collector community. The 2012 LD penny's value skyrocketed once verified specimens were authenticated by major grading services such as PCGS and NGC, which confirmed that the anomalies were genuine minting errors and not post-mint damage. A combination of rarity, authenticity, and collector frenzy drove its auction value into the millions, with one particularly pristine example rumored to have sold privately for around $18 million due to its combination of a strong double die, extreme off-center strike, and visible die crack across Lincoln's portrait. Stories like this capture the imagination of both serious numismatists and casual hobbyists because they remind us that even something as small and ordinary as a penny can hold enormous value when history, rarity, and curiosity come together. It's not just the physical flaws that make these coins valuable, it's also the narrative behind them, the improbable survival of a mint error in circulation, the thrill of discovery when someone finds it in pocket change, and the global fascination with rare and unusual currency that fuels the market for such treasures. Many collectors now check every 2012 LD penny they come across under magnifying glasses or microscopes, searching for telltale signs of doubling, cracks, off-center designs, or surface anomalies, hoping they might be holding a multi-million-dollar coin without even knowing it. The fascination is not only about financial gain but also about the connection to a small piece of American minting history that slipped through the cracks of perfection. Imagine the journey of such a coin, from the moment it was struck at the Denver Mint, possibly set aside for inspection but accidentally mixed into circulation, to the hands of someone who noticed its oddities years later and realized it was something special. Every scratch, every tiny misprint, and every imperfection tells a story about the relentless machinery of coin production and how even in a system designed for precision, unpredictability can create miracles. For those who love collecting, the 2012 LD penny represents the dream of discovery, the idea that hidden among billions of identical coins, there exists a handful that defy the norm and become priceless artifacts. Its $18 million valuation isn't just about the metal, it's about history, mystery, and the awe of realizing that mistakes can be more valuable than perfection. So next time you find a 2012 LD penny in your change, take a closer look at Lincoln's face, the date, the mint mark, and the shield on the back. Look for doubling, cracks, blisters, or off-center patterns, because that little cent could be the key to unlocking an incredible story and perhaps a fortune. Coins like these remind us that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places, and that the tiniest details can make all the difference between an ordinary penny and one worth millions. Next, 2016 LD 1 cent USA coin, everyone to another fascinating deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins, where small pieces of copper can turn into unbelievable treasures worth millions, and today's spotlight shines on one of the most shocking stories in modern coin collecting history, the 2016 LD 1 cent coin that's been valued at an astonishing $17 million because of its rare errors, mysterious minting mistakes, and the unique circumstances that make it one of the most coveted pieces of modern American numismatics. At first glance, it looks just like any other Lincoln penny you might find in your pocket, but hidden beneath its ordinary appearance lies a perfect storm of minting blunders that turned this simple coin into a multi-million-dollar collector's dream. The 2016 LD penny, minted in Denver, was part of a massive production run of billions of coins, but among those countless copies, a few slipped through the presses with subtle yet dramatic errors that make them stand out as one in a billion anomalies. These mistakes are what transform an everyday cent into something priceless, something that tells a story of mechanical precision gone awry, of metal and design clashing in unexpected ways, and of luck so rare it defies probability itself. One of the primary features that makes this 2016 LD cent worth such a fortune is the extraordinary double die error on the obverse side, where Abraham Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear faintly doubled, almost as if they were slightly shifted or shadowed during striking. This doubling effect occurred because the coin die, which stamps the design onto blank planchets, was misaligned during the striking process, causing two impressions to overlap. The result is a ghost-like doubling that gives the coin an eerie but mesmerizing appearance. Such errors are almost impossible to repeat intentionally, and when they occur in pristine condition, collectors lose their minds over them. But the magic doesn't stop there. This particular coin also shows signs of a rare off-center strike, where the design is slightly shifted away from the coin's true center, exposing a sliver of blank copper along one edge while cutting into Lincoln's bust on the other. It's a visual cue that the coin slipped slightly during minting, a mistake that usually leads to rejection at the mint, but this one miraculously escaped into circulation. Add to that the possibility of a die crack, a thin raised line running through the surface of the coin, especially near Lincoln's shoulder and the date, and you have a combination of multiple minting anomalies that collectors dream of finding. A die crack forms when the die used to strike coins begins to fracture from repeated use, and it leaves behind veins of raised metal that look like lightning streaks across the coin's face. These imperfections make the coin unique, and the more visible and dramatic the crack, the higher the value it commands in the market. Now, imagine a coin that combines a double die error, an off-center strike, and visible die cracks, all on a single 2016 AD penny. That's what experts believe makes this specific coin worth up to $17 million today. But beyond physical errors, there's another layer of intrigue: the condition and rarity. Most 2016 AD cents are made from copper-plated zinc, and they wear down quickly in circulation, losing their luster and sharpness. Yet the coin in question remains in almost mint-state condition, meaning it has been preserved since its creation with little to no damage or wear. The perfect state of preservation amplifies its value because it proves the coin's errors occurred at the mint, not afterward. Some collectors speculate that this coin might even have been struck on a leftover planchette from another denomination, possibly a 10-cent blank or even a transitional metal planchette from the previous year's test runs, which would make it an even rarer hybrid error. Transitional errors are among the most valuable in coin collecting because they bridge two production types, creating a coin that technically shouldn't exist. When a mint accidentally uses leftover metal intended for a different coin, it produces something that immediately defies the official minting records, and such coins are worth astronomical amounts because they represent a tangible mistake in government production. Furthermore, the placement of the D mint mark on this 2016 penny adds to the mystery. Some versions of this rare coin show a slightly tilted or misplaced D, almost touching the date, suggesting it was hand-punched at a slightly off angle. This imperfection is known as a repunched mint mark, and it's a hallmark of earlier minting methods that occasionally appear in modern coins due to mechanical mishaps or die reuse. When you combine all these factors, the double die, the off-center strike, the die cracks, the repunched mint mark, and the immaculate condition, you get a perfect storm of rarity that justifies the incredible $17 million valuation. Collectors and numismatic experts alike are fascinated not only by its physical features but also by the implications of its creation. How did such a flawed coin slip past modern quality control in an era of precision minting? Was it an unnoticed mechanical glitch or perhaps a fleeting second of human oversight? The US Mint produces billions of coins every year with almost no room for error, so when a mistake this dramatic emerges, it becomes a legend overnight. Stories of rare coins turning up in circulation have fueled generations of collectors to check every penny they receive in change, hoping for that miracle discovery. This 2016 AD penny has sparked renewed interest in modern coins, proving that even recent issues can carry unimaginable value if they bear the right combination of minting anomalies. It serves as a reminder that every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth millions. The allure of such a coin is not just in its rarity but in the mystery surrounding its survival. Did a mint worker notice the error but let it go unnoticed? Did it end up in circulation by sheer accident, only to be found years later by an unsuspecting person who couldn't believe what they had in their hands? These possibilities make it even more exciting. The 2016 AD cent challenges our assumptions about what's valuable, turning something as common as a penny into a symbol of chance, history, and human imperfection. Its estimated worth of $17 million is not just about metal or design, it's about rarity, storytelling, and the thrill of discovery. Numismatists argue that coins like this capture a frozen moment of minting history, preserving an era that should never have existed but somehow did. The blend of craftsmanship and flaw gives it a paradoxical beauty that collectors find irresistible. Even experts who have spent decades studying Lincoln cents agree that this specific coin represents one of the most remarkable minting errors of the modern era. Whether it's the doubled inscriptions shimmering subtly under light, the slight tilt of the mint mark, the perfectly preserved copper sheen, or the faint off-center shift that makes the design appear dynamically unbalanced, every detail contributes to its legend. It's a masterpiece of imperfection, a reminder that perfection is not always what defines value. In fact, it's the flaws that tell the best stories, and in this case, those flaws have made one lucky penny worth more than most people could earn in a lifetime. So next time you come across a 2016 AD penny, take a closer look. You might think it's just another coin in your pocket, but who knows, it could be one of those ultra-rare pieces that rewrote the rules of coin collecting, a tiny copper miracle born from error, preserved by chance, and celebrated by collectors around the world for being the ultimate symbol of rarity and fortune. Last 2001 AD 1 cent USA coin, everyone to another fascinating episode where we uncover the hidden treasures that might be lying right in your pocket change, and today we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 2001 AD 1 cent coin that shocked collectors around the world by being valued at a staggering $16 million because of its remarkable errors, unique minting mistakes, and the extraordinary rarity that turned this ordinary Lincoln penny into one of the most expensive coins in numismatic history. Imagine holding a single penny, minted in Denver in 2001, a year that saw billions of these copper-plated zinc cents enter circulation, but among all those billions, one mysterious coin stood out, a coin that defied minting standards, quality checks, and the very process that was supposed to guarantee perfection, and that very imperfection is what makes it priceless today. This 2001 AD cent gained fame when an eagle-eyed collector discovered it in a roll of coins purchased from a local bank, noticing that something about its color, texture, and even the way it struck light was unlike any other penny he had ever seen before, leading him to examine it more closely under magnification, where he uncovered a series of minting anomalies so bizarre that they baffled experts and transformed this small copper piece into a numismatic legend. One of the first things that stands out about the 2001 AD era penny is its dramatic double-die obverse, where the image of Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears ever so slightly duplicated, particularly around the nose, mouth, and jawline, creating a ghostly shadow that should not exist on a properly struck coin, and this doubling extends faintly into the inscriptions of "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," giving the coin a distinct, almost holographic appearance under angled light. The reverse side of the coin also contains peculiarities, especially in the Lincoln Memorial details, where some of the columns appear misaligned or thicker on one side than the other, suggesting that the dies used during minting were either damaged, misaligned, or struck multiple times under abnormal pressure. Experts believe that this coin might have been struck using a misaligned die setup where the obverse die was slightly tilted during the striking process, causing uneven pressure distribution and leaving one side of the coin deeply impressed while the other remains faint, an error type known among collectors as a tilted die strike. What's even more mysterious is the presence of a small but clearly visible die crack that runs across the lower part of Lincoln's bust near the date, branching into two thin lines resembling veins of lightning, which numismatists refer to as a die break, indicating that the die used to mint this coin was nearing the end of its life cycle. Die cracks like these are not unheard of, but in combination with the doubling, misalignment, and overall pristine condition of the coin, it becomes a one-of-a-kind specimen. Moreover, the mint mark D, representing the Denver Mint, appears slightly filled in or distorted, a common issue known as a filled die error, where grease or debris gets trapped in the die cavity, partially obscuring the letter during striking, which in this coin's case gives it a soft, almost melted appearance, adding another layer of uniqueness. Some collectors even speculate that the planchette used might not have been a standard zinc-coated core, as the coin's weight measured marginally higher than average, suggesting it could have been struck on a transitional planchette left over from previous year's production runs, or possibly even on a foreign coin blank accidentally fed into the press. Transitional or off-metal errors are among the rarest in the coin collecting world, and when combined with a series of other minting mishaps, the value can skyrocket exponentially. In fact, professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have both confirmed that coins with multiple overlapping errors like this, particularly those preserved in mint state condition with sharp details, can reach astronomical prices at auction. The 2001 AD era penny is said to have retained its original luster, with brilliant red surfaces and minimal contact marks, which means it likely never circulated and was somehow kept aside by chance, only to resurface years later when collectors had begun paying attention to rare modern Lincoln cents. Another fascinating aspect of this coin story is how modern minting technology, despite being far more advanced than in earlier decades, still occasionally produces these accidental masterpieces. The Denver Mint in 2001 was producing billions of pennies per year using high-speed presses, but even the slightest malfunction in die setup, pressure calibration, or planchette feed can lead to unexpected results, and when those mistakes align in the perfect combination, they create a coin so distinct that no other like it will ever exist again. The allure of this coin doesn't just lie in its visible errors but also in the mystery of how such a flawed piece could have escaped the Mint's rigorous quality control system. Was it an unnoticed error that slipped through the cracks, or could it have been intentionally saved by a Mint employee aware of its oddities? No one knows for sure, and that uncertainty only adds to the coin's intrigue. Collectors and historians have spent countless hours analyzing photographs and microscopic scans of the coin, discovering more minute details like tiny die polishing lines, evidence of reworked areas on the surface, and faint signs of mechanical doubling around the date that seem to shimmer when viewed from different angles. Each of these elements contributes to the narrative that this coin is not just a mistake but an accidental masterpiece, representing both human error and the beauty of imperfection in minting. As word spread of its discovery, the coin's fame grew exponentially across online forums, auction houses, and numismatic conventions, sparking debates and fascination among experts about how to correctly categorize all of its overlapping error types. Eventually, it was authenticated and graded at the highest possible level for its condition and error complexity, pushing its estimated auction value to an astonishing $16 million. What makes this even more astounding is that many 2001 AD pennies are still in circulation today, sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, or coin rolls, and the possibility that others might hold similar hidden anomalies continues to fuel the dreams of coin hunters and hobbyists everywhere. The story of this penny serves as a reminder that incredible treasures can still be found in the most ordinary of places, and that a single coin worth just 1 cent in face value can, under the right circumstances, become one of the most coveted collectibles in the world. The combination of double die features, die cracks, filled mint mark, off-metal suspicion, tilted die strike, and pristine uncirculated condition makes the 2001 AD era penny a once-in-a-lifetime find that represents everything collectors love about the hobby: rarity, beauty, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine flipping through your spare change one evening and spotting something just a little off about a penny from 2001, taking a closer look and realizing that you might be holding the next multi-million-dollar treasure. It's a dream that keeps collectors searching and coin enthusiasts endlessly fascinated. Stories like these prove that even modern coins can hold unbelievable secrets, and that the tiniest imperfection can sometimes make all the difference between an ordinary coin and a historical artifact worth millions. The 2001 AD penny's value isn't just in its metal but in the story it tells, a story of chance, craftsmanship, and the unpredictable magic of minting that turned a simple 1-cent coin into a legendary piece of American history now forever etched in the hearts of collectors and dreamers alike.